The New York Rangers have an impossible decision to make as multiple players are coming off the injury reserve. They're going to have to make some massive roster moves, as well as one New York Rangers player setting records, making history, and making his claim to be the best current New York Ranger. We're going to break all of that down, but before we do, a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. About 70% of you who watch our videos are not actually subscribed to the channel, so if you want to do yourself a favor, it's free. Hit that subscribe button and you get to stay up to date with everything New York Rangers. And what a fantastic start to the regular season for the New York Rangers. 3-0-1, and of course, you'd like to have that overtime loss against Utah back and be a perfect 4-0 in the season, but still a great start to the season. 7 points out of the gate. Great stuff. And now we're going to get to Victor Mancini, and I will tease it this early in the video, later on in the video, and there will be some timestamps, but fantastic game from him, and I really want to deep dive into him, but we have to start with somebody else first, and that of course is Artemi Panarin, just absolutely playing fantastic. And I thought this tweet, just to kick it off, was hilarious. That Panarin saw that Igor's camp, said that he was better than him and wants more money than him, and he took it personally. And obviously, fantastic game from Artemi Panarin last night in Detroit, where he scored a hat trick. And this is from Rangers PR as well. Artemi Panarin is the first player in franchise history to record multiple points in each of the first 4 games of a season. So obviously this is a player who, I'm not saying he literally took this seriously, that Igor thinks that he's better than him, but you never know, and he is playing fantastic, right? He has started the season on fire, and that's exactly what you were looking for from not only the line he's playing on, but him himself, that you wanted him to start hot again and really make sure that he's not taking a step back or anything. And we knew that he was going to play well, right? We absolutely knew that he was going to have a great season. So nice to see him starting the season off, setting records, first player in franchise history to do such. And obviously, this is from Steven. This line is unbelievably sick and twisted. And obviously, this screenshot here is right where Panarin scores the opening goal of the game on the Rangers' first shot of the game. But obviously, while Detroit had the majority of the shots that far into the game, Rangers took over the game completely. And nice passing play from this line. This line to me is the Rangers' first line. Obviously, a lot of people and different websites and people making mock lineups before the season started, everyone had Chris Kreider, Mika Zibanejad on that first line, and then whoever it was going to be, and obviously it's Riley Smith as the first line. This is the Rangers' first line. This is the Rangers' first line. Artemi Panarin is on fire. Lafreniere started the season on fire. Vincent Trocheck starts the season on fire. All firing on all cylinders. Love to see it to start the season for sure. And we also have a quote from his centerman on Artemi Panarin. He's pretty much always on. There's really nothing that you've got to look for to know. You just can see it on the ice. So obviously, great praise there from his centerman for Artemi Panarin. And yeah, he's pretty much always on. I mean, he went off last year. We saw he had a fantastic season, and he's starting the same way again this year, putting up the points. And I thought this was interesting as well. Most career New York Rangers points per game, minimum 200 games played. Panarin is in first by quite a large margin. I mean, Gretzky, again, coming over kind of at the end of his career. Like, if Gretzky played in his prime in New York, maybe that number might be a bit higher, maybe a little bit higher than Panarin. But still, he's over guys like Yager, who's second all-time in scoring. He's over guys like Mark Messier, right? Like, this is crazy. Like, he is playing probably the best hockey of his career, Artemi Panarin, and that is a good thing if you're a Rangers fan. You just got to take it to the next level in the playoffs, of course. But the Rangers have a goal in mind this year. It's obviously to win the Stanley Cup, but I think you want to repeat as President's Trophy winners again. I know a lot of people will say, we don't really care about that. We did it last year. But you want to be the best team in all facets, right? So they started the season off great. Obviously, right now, New Jersey's in first in the Metro, but they have more games played. So the New York Rangers, they've started the year off fantastic. And again, Panarin, this is great company. Not only great company, but he's leading, right? Like, it would be different if maybe he was further down the list, but he is leading. So that is pretty significant for Artemi Panarin. And also from Johnny, Artemi Panarin becomes the first player in franchise history to have 4 straight multi-point games to start the season, as we mentioned earlier in the video. So fantastic stuff from Artemi Panarin and great praise from his teammates. Now, let's get into some fun stuff, some rookie stuff. And obviously, There's lots of talk about this, and Ryan Lindgren is very close to returning, and it's looking like he's going to take Victor Mancini's spot away from Victor Mancini and come back into the lineup. And I've been seeing the comments, and I've been seeing everything online. Don't take Mancini out. He's been playing fantastic. Don't put Lindgren back in. Lindgren is probably going to come back in and play with Adam Fox. Well, that's what I'm assuming. We don't know because obviously they're trying a bunch of different defensive pairings since some guys were hurt, and Mancini's playing pretty well, but we'll get to it. Victor Mancini scores his first NHL goal, but his second goal, obviously the first one was disallowed, but it was a nice play, obviously, getting the shots towards the net. That's exactly what you need, and, got through this one. And obviously his first goal that was disallowed, same thing. The shot got through, right? But obviously Rempe standing in the crease. Now, he has obviously only one counts, right? He only has one official NHL goal, but he has, played fantastic. He's generating chances. He looks great. He doesn't look out of place is what I'm trying to say. And I'm not sure it's going to be an easy decision to send him down to Hartford. I really don't, because he is playing fantastic. His story is great. I talked about it in a previous video. His story of how he's gotten here is fantastic. So it's going to be hard to see a player like this get scratched or, sent down to Hartford, like I mentioned. And I think it's going to be hard for management and obviously the coaching staff. I think Laviolette really likes this player, and I think he's really surprised everybody. So it's going to be hard. And obviously, like I said, 2 goals on the season, 1 disallowed, but he's making things happen. It's going to be hard to send a player like this down to the minors. And if you look at the impact card, which I love these, the hockey stat cards, these are great on Twitter if you want to check these out. He was one of the best players for the Rangers last night in all facets. He was one of the best players on the ice and a really dominant win over the Detroit Red Wings. Like, he had a better game than a lot of notable players, a lot of notable names. So he's putting in the work, right? Like, he is a great player. And we have another quote from Victor Mancini on making the NHL as well. And scoring his first NHL goal last night, because obviously he scored the other night, disallowed, so didn't count. This is the official first one, but a little bit of disbelief, just emotion, happiness. Words can't really describe it, especially doing it in Michigan too, because, that is something that was maybe lost a little bit in this. It was his homecoming, right? He's from Michigan, a Michigan native, and he gets to score his first NHL goal after, making the team as a surprise standout in training camp, scores his first NHL goal in his home state. I think it doesn't get better than that. So I would love to see Victor Mancini stick with the team. Personally, I would. I just think that once Ryan Lindgren comes back from injury, with the amount of money that he makes, his NHL experience, he's probably going to get that spot. And, Mancini's going to get his moment for sure. It's going to come again. If there's another injury, he's probably going to be the first call up now. He's really made a name for himself. And, has Zach Jones solidified his spot over Mancini too? I think that's another topic of conversation, because I said the other day, Zach Jones has solidified his spot just because he has more NHL experience. But at this point right now, Mancini's making things happen, right? He's making plays. He's scoring goals, as we saw last night. And he's, I keep mentioning it. It was disallowed, but, he's making things happen. He has 2 goals at this point. 1 was disallowed. It wasn't his fault, though. So, he's getting pucks to the net. He's playing really well. He doesn't look out of place, and I think that was the biggest thing coming into the season. If somebody looked out of place, then, yeah, they'd be sent down. But he looks pretty good. I think that maybe, they're going to have a longer look at him than it's not going to be an easy decision for management and Laviolette alike. But let me know in the comments what you think of Panarin starting off the season hot, as he always does, and hopefully, that continues consistently throughout the season. And let me know what you think about Victor Mancini. Should he be taken out of the lineup? Maybe it's Zach Jones that's going to be sent down, right? Or scratched. We don't know what's going to happen, but I do know for sure that Mancini is a great story. He gets his first NHL goal, and he's been playing fantastic. Does not look out of place. So let me know what you think in the comments, and if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with everything New York Rangers.